six-party opposition alliance has just held these fresh talks today. It looks like they've managed to pull together and rally behind one candidate. Tell us more about who this man is, and does he stand a chance?
Yes, Kemal Kilicdaroglu is a former Ministry of Finance official. He also specialized in social insurance. He's from the eastern province of Tunceli, and he's an Alawi. That's a minority Islamic sect. And I mention that only because political analysts have said that Erdogan might hold that against him in the political campaign. He was elected to parliament 20 years ago. He became leader of the opposition party, the biggest opposition party, the Republican People's Party, in 2010. He has the common touch. Erdogan certainly didn't like it when he was elected. He has managed to raise his party's share of the vote, but his party has always come second to Erdogan's parties in elections. And for this reason, he is seen as something of a loser. Does he stand a chance? I would say yes, but it's a small one, according to the opinion polls. For the past 12 months, all the opinion polls have said that if the mayor of Istanbul or the mayor of Ankara to run against Erdogan for the presidency, one of the mayors would beat Erdogan hands down. It's only occasionally that opinion polls have said Kemal Kilicdaroglu could beat Erdogan. And for this reason, many people will be disappointed tonight that the opposition has chosen Kilicdaroglu. They will think that the opposition has thrown away its best chance of beating Erdogan in 20 years.
Yeah, some analysts whose reports I've been reading have described this as being Turkey's most important election since the Turkish Republic was established 100 or so years ago. I mean, does that sound to you like a bit of an exaggeration?
It certainly does. I would say Turkey's most important election was that in 1950, which were the first democratic elections. Second to those, I would say the elections that followed the military rules, the short period, the 2 or 3 years in which the military held power in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, because it was the post-military government that set the tone of Turkey's direction for the next period. However, these elections are very important because if the opposition doesn't win, then Erdogan's authoritarian style of government will be consolidated. All that Erdogan has done to suppress the press, to curb human rights, to erode the separation of powers, to generally deteriorate the state of democracy in Turkey. All of this will not become regrettable excesses. They will become the new normal. And this point was made earlier this year by The Economist magazine, which called on governments, Western governments, to stand up to Erdogan, to put pressure on Turkey to make sure the coming elections are free and fair. The Economist said that if Erdogan wins this time, Turkey will become a full-blown dictatorship. And not surprisingly, that edition of The Economist was impounded by the state. I went to 3 shops trying to buy it, and each time I was told, this week The Economist didn't come.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for sharing that with us. France 24's Jasper Moore.